Chosen one. The message you are receiving today is no coincidence. It arrives at this exact moment to remind you that your journey is unique, and it is unfolding with divine precision. You are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't always feel that way. The path you have walked, filled with trials and hardships, has been leading you toward a profound transformation. Every step, every challenge, every moment of doubt and pain has been part of a larger design. And now, as you stand on the edge of a breakthrough, you are being guided towards something greater than you could have imagined. The pain you've endured, the betrayals and injustices that have marked your journey, have not gone unnoticed. These experiences have caused you deep hurt, and at times they may have seemed insurmountable. Yet, instead of allowing this pain to define you, you chose a different path. Many around you may not understand how you've managed to hold on to your integrity, how you've resisted the temptation to let the bitterness of your past seep into your soul. But it is this decision, the choice to remain true to your values, that has set you apart. Others may have questioned how you could withstand the weight of betrayal and not let it turn you cold or cynical. They may not see how your spirit, untainted by the bitterness that could have easily taken root, remains pure and strong. But in the eyes of heaven, your decision is rare and significant. The true test of character is not simply enduring pain, but in choosing not to let it corrupt your heart. Heaven recognizes the strength it took to stay true to your core, and this divine recognition is part of the reward that is coming. Your path has not only been about survival, but about choosing to remain steadfast in goodness. And that is the key to the transformation unfolding in your life. Chosen one, throughout your journey, you've endured pain and betrayal that could have easily broken you. The sting of being hurt by those you trusted, the weight of betrayal from people who were once close to you. It has left its mark on your soul. Yet, despite the wounds, you've remained standing. And not only that, you've remained true to your spirit, compassionate and kind, even when others around you might have expected bitterness. This is not a common path, and it is important to understand why it's so significant. The world we live in often reacts to pain and betrayal in ways that can be harsh and destructive. Pain is a deeply transformative force, and for most, the natural response is to harden, to build walls around the heart to protect it from future hurt. In many ways, this reaction is a survival mechanism, one that the human mind and heart resort to when they feel overwhelmed by the injustices and betrayals of life. The common human reaction to pain is not to seek healing, but to seek protection, to shield oneself from the possibility of feeling that depth of hurt again. Pain and betrayal can often lead to negative transformations, shaping individuals into people who are colder, more suspicious, and more hardened. People may become more cynical about love, relationships, or even the good intentions of others. Trust becomes something to be feared rather than something to be embraced. These are common responses to repeated trauma, responses that keep a person locked in a cycle of bitterness and self-preservation. It's easy to become hardened by the world's injustices, to let the weight of life's pain push you into a corner where you become afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to trust again. But you, chosen one, have walked a different path. While the pain you've experienced was real, and while the temptation to mirror the negative behaviors of others may have been strong, you chose a different way. You didn't allow the hurt to turn you cold, nor did you allow it to corrupt the goodness in your heart. This is where your true strength lies, in your ability to resist the urge to mirror the actions of those who hurt you. You chose not to mirror their betrayal, not to reflect their coldness or their cynicism. You chose to remain true to your values, to keep your heart open, even when it felt easier to close it off. The standard human reaction to betrayal is to mirror the actions of those who cause the pain. When hurt by someone, the instinctual reaction is to lash out, to become defensive, and sometimes even to take revenge. It's a natural response to hurt, and it's often a way of protecting oneself from being hurt again. This mirror reaction serves to keep the heart safe, or so it seems, by matching the negative energy sent by others with a defense that seeks to make the heart invulnerable. In doing so, though, it traps people in a cycle of suffering. When we mirror the pain that others cause us, we end up creating more of the same negative energy, which leads to further emotional and spiritual damage. This is what happens when we allow ourselves to become bitter. The more we hold on to the pain, the more it shapes us, and before long, it begins to define us. Bitterness poisons the soul, taking root in our thoughts and actions, making it harder to trust again, harder to love, and harder to believe in the goodness of others. This is the typical human response, one that many fall into, especially when faced with repeated betrayal or hurt. But you, chosen one, chose not to walk this path. Instead of allowing the world's injustices to poison your spirit, you decided to remain compassionate. You chose to forgive, even when it felt impossible. You chose to hold on to your values, your integrity, and your love for others. You recognized that the pain you had experienced could either define you or refine you, and you made the conscious decision to let it refine you. This decision is a rare one, chosen one, and it is one that sets you apart from so many others who allow the world's wounds to harden them. You didn't let the betrayal you faced shape your heart into something bitter and closed off. You kept your heart open, even in the midst of the deepest pain. You made the choice not to mirror the cruelty of others, but to reflect the love and compassion that resides within you. And in doing so, you created a pathway not just for your healing, but for the healing of those around you as well. Your journey of resilience is not about denying your pain. It is about acknowledging it and then choosing to rise above it. It is about recognizing the temptation to become hardened by the world's injustices and choosing, instead, to become more compassionate. You chose not to give in to the bitterness that could have taken root in your soul. You chose forgiveness, not as a favor to those who wronged you, but as a gift to yourself, a way of freeing your heart from the weight of anger and resentment. In choosing resilience, you've allowed yourself to heal. You've refused to let the actions of others define your response to life. Instead, you've chosen to respond with love, with compassion, and with an open heart. This is your power, chosen one. This is what sets you apart. You have not allowed the world to shape you into something bitter. You have shaped yourself into someone who walks in the light, despite the darkness you've faced. This decision to remain true to your values, to stay compassionate and loving in the face of betrayal, is not easy. It takes a great deal of inner strength, courage, and faith. It requires the ability to look beyond the actions of others and see the bigger picture, the higher calling that is guiding you. You've chosen to live according to the principles that God has placed in your heart, not based on the behavior of those who have wronged you. This is the key to your transformation. This is the key to your strength. In the end, the true power of pain lies not in its ability to break you, but in your ability to rise above it. You've chosen to transform the hurt you've experienced into something that will elevate you, something that will fuel your purpose rather than hinder it. This is what true resilience looks like. Not just surviving the pain, but allowing it to refine you into the person you were always meant to be. Your journey has not been easy, but it has been powerful. You are a living testimony to the strength that comes from choosing to stay true to your heart, even when the world tries to harden it. Chosen one, the path you've walked is not one of easy victories or shallow success. It is a path that has been carved through the valleys of pain, through the struggles of betrayal, and through the fire of personal transformation. But it is also a path that has led you to a place of deep wisdom, compassion, and strength. Your rise is not about becoming someone you were not. It is about becoming more fully who you were always meant to be. And the world will see the fruit of your faithfulness, the beauty of your compassion, and the power of your resilience. You have chosen a different path, and in doing so, you are becoming a beacon of light for others to follow. Chosen one, Throughout your journey, there have been moments when anger seemed like a justified response. The pain, the betrayals, and the unfair treatment you've endured could have easily led you to lash out, to seek revenge or retribution. It would have been so easy to give in to those emotions and act out of hurt, letting the wounds dictate your actions. But despite the temptation, you chose a different path. You chose silence. You chose restraint. And in doing so, you chose a form of power that transcends mere reaction. A power that not only transformed you, but also redefined how you engage with the world. In those moments when the world expected you to retaliate, to fight back with anger or bitterness, you chose to remain silent. That silence, which others might have misunderstood or seen as weakness, was, in fact, one of the most powerful statements you could make. It was a conscious decision not to allow past wounds to control you any longer. When others sought to provoke a reaction, you chose peace. When the urge to defend yourself and strike back was at its peak, you chose silence, not as a sign of surrender, but as a declaration of strength. This was not an empty silence. It was a silence filled with the determination to rise above the pain, to rise above the hurt and anger, and to take control of your emotional response. This act of restraint baffled those around you, many of whom were waiting for you to explode in anger or engage in conflict. The world expects people who are wronged to fight back, to retaliate with equal force. But you chose not to meet negativity with negativity. Instead, you let your silence speak louder than any words or actions could have. It became a powerful statement, a demonstration that you were no longer controlled by the pain others had inflicted on you. You were free from the need to prove yourself, to show the world how much they had wronged you. The silence wasn't weakness, it was a reflection of your emotional strength. You didn't need to react to every slight or attack because you had learned to master your emotions and to protect your peace. In choosing silence over anger, you demonstrated true strength. Real strength is not about the ability to react or retaliate. It's about the ability to restrain yourself when everything in you wants to lash out. The true test of character comes not when life is easy, but when it challenges you to maintain your integrity despite the hurt. Your decision to rise above the temptation to seek revenge was spiritual and psychological proof of your inner power. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when the desire to respond with anger was overwhelming. But you chose growth and peace instead of engaging in conflict. You chose to break free from the cycle of pain and bitterness, and in doing so, you empowered yourself to transform the situation rather than let it define you. This choice didn't come from a place of passivity or resignation. It came from a place of wisdom. You understood that reacting emotionally to every provocation only perpetuates the cycle of pain. You recognized that every time you responded with anger or hurt, you gave away your power. By choosing silence, you took back control. You chose not to allow the actions of others to dictate your emotional state or to govern how you responded. You chose peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and in doing so, you proved to yourself and to the world that your strength lies not in reaction, but in restraint and emotional mastery. The temptation to react is something most people face, especially when they are hurt. Pain and betrayal often rewrite a person's identity, making them feel as though they are defined by the wrongs that have been done to them. Many people, when faced with hurt, respond by mirroring the negativity they've received. This perpetuates the cycle of pain, where each person's reaction leads to more hurt, more anger, and more division. But you, chosen one, chose to break free from that cycle. You chose not to let the pain dictate your identity or shape your responses. Instead, you took the higher road, choosing to rise above the negativity, to protect your energy, and to focus on your own growth. The cycle of emotional reaction is a trap that many fall into. When someone hurts us, it's natural to want to lash out in retaliation, to defend ourselves and prove that we were wronged. However, this only fuels the cycle of hurt, creating more emotional scars for everyone involved. Each emotional reaction, each defense or attack, becomes a layer of negativity that compounds the initial injury. The longer we stay in this reactive state, the more trapped we become in our own emotional pain. But you, chosen one, broke free from this cycle. You stopped reacting to every attack or criticism, and in doing so, you liberated yourself. Instead of allowing the actions of others to dictate how you felt or how you would respond, you took control of your emotions. You began to protect your energy, choosing to invest in your own growth rather than engaging in the destructive back and forth of emotional reaction. This is a powerful act of self-awareness. You didn't let the actions of others define your peace. You chose to focus on what you could control: your own growth, your own healing, and your own path forward. Emotional awareness is what has set you free from the cycle of pain. You began to learn how to observe your emotions without being controlled by them. This is not the same as suppressing your emotions or pretending that you don't feel hurt. It's about recognizing the feelings as they arise, acknowledging them, and then choosing not to let them dictate your actions. Instead of reacting impulsively out of hurt, you learned to pause, to breathe, and to make a conscious decision about how to respond. This shift in awareness gave you the emotional freedom you needed to break free from the past and step into a future defined by your choices, not by the wounds others inflicted upon you. When you learned to separate your identity from your emotional reactions, you began to gain control over your life in a way that few ever do. Your emotions no longer controlled you. They became tools for your growth. The anger, the hurt, and the disappointment that once defined you no longer had the power to define your actions. You chose to protect your peace, to nurture your soul, and to rise above the negativity. This is the true power of emotional awareness. The ability to choose how you respond, no matter the circumstances. As you continue to walk this path, remember that your growth is a testament to your strength. You have not been defeated by the pain. You have transformed it into a stepping stone toward your higher self. By choosing silence over anger, by resisting the temptation to seek revenge, and by breaking free from the cycle of emotional reaction, you have proven that your power lies not in the actions of others, but in how you choose to respond. You are no longer defined by what has been done to you. You are defined by the choices you make in the face of those challenges. Chosen one, this journey has not been easy, but it has been powerful. You have shown that true strength comes not from reacting in anger, but from choosing peace. You have proven that emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, but about choosing to rise above them, to use them as tools for growth rather than letting them control your life. Keep walking this path, for your ability to control your reactions, to protect your energy, and to focus on growth is the key to unlocking the full potential of your purpose. Your rise is not just about overcoming the pain of the past, but about choosing to move forward with grace, compassion, and strength. You have already broken free. Now, the world will see the powerful, resilient person you were always meant to be. Chosen one. As you continue on your journey, you may have noticed a significant shift within yourself. There is a growing sense of control over your reactions, a newfound ability to navigate life with a deep inner peace that wasn't always present. This is the power of self-mastery, and it is a true testament to your inner strength. Self-mastery is not about controlling others or trying to force situations to bend to your will. It's about gaining control over yourself. It's about making the conscious choice to respond to life's challenges with calmness and grace, instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally. In your past, the world may have triggered you to react with anger, frustration, or fear. You may have felt swept away by the emotional currents of life, pulled in all directions by the chaos and confusion around you. But now, you have learned the art of self-mastery. You've understood that true strength does not lie in reacting to the world's pressures. It lies in your ability to maintain peace and clarity despite them. You have learned to pause before reacting, to observe your emotions rather than letting them control you. This newfound control over your reactions is not just about discipline. It's a conscious, daily choice to be the master of your own mind, body, and spirit. In embracing this discipline of self-mastery, You've also embraced the practice of detachment. This isn't about disconnecting or withdrawing from the world. It's about finding freedom from the emotional attachments that once tied you down. Detachment has allowed you to observe situations with clarity, without the emotional attachment that often clouds judgment. You've learned how to step back from drama and chaos, to watch life unfold without being swept up in the emotional turbulence that once consumed you. When life pushes you, you don't react with impulsive anger or fear. Instead, you pause, take a breath, and make decisions from a place of inner peace. This discipline of detachment doesn't mean you are cold or indifferent to the world around you. Rather, it means you've cultivated a calm center within yourself that cannot be easily shaken by the external forces. When faced with conflict or negativity, you are no longer controlled by it. Instead, you respond from a place of strength, choosing peace over chaos. You have learned to separate your emotional state from the events happening around you, giving you the power to choose your response. This is the essence of self-mastery, the ability to rise above the noise of life and remain anchored in your true self. Through this process of mastering yourself, you have also learned how to transform your pain into purpose. Life has not always been easy, and there have been moments of deep hurt and betrayal. But rather than allowing these experiences to define you, you chose to use them as fuel for growth. Instead of being consumed by the pain of the past, you turned it into something powerful. You found meaning in the struggles, and those struggles became the foundation for your strength. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You have learned valuable lessons from the challenges you faced, lessons that have shaped you into a person with deeper wisdom and greater resilience. The pain that once seemed to hold you back now serves as the very thing that propels you forward. This transformation allowed you to step into your purpose with greater clarity and conviction. You are no longer defined by what has happened to you. You are defined by what you've chosen to do with that pain. Instead of becoming bitter, you've become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. As you continue on this path, your energy is shifting. You are no longer seeking approval from others or chasing validation from those who never understood you. For so long, you may have tried to fit into molds created by others, seeking their approval and acceptance. But now you have realized that your path is not about pleasing people. It's about fulfilling your divine purpose. You have let go of the need for external validation because you understand that the only approval you need is the one from within and from God. This shift in focus, from seeking external approval to embracing your own divine calling, has created space for growth. As you began to focus on your own journey and growth, you began to notice something remarkable. The right people and opportunities started to show up. You no longer had to chase after relationships or opportunities that didn't align with your true self. Instead, by focusing on your own transformation and purpose, you began to attract the right energy, the right relationships, and the right circumstances. This shift is not just external. It is a reflection of the inner change that has taken place within you. As your energy has changed, so has the way the world around you responds to you. You no longer engage in drama or unnecessary conflict, and people around you have begun to notice this. The calmness that now radiates from you, the clarity with which you approach life's challenges, and the peace you exude puzzle those who once underestimated you or expected you to react with anger or frustration. Your newfound calmness doesn't come from a place of indifference. It comes from strength and wisdom. Those who were once drawn to drama or chaos find themselves confused by your refusal to engage. And while some may not fully understand it, they can't help but respect it. Your ability to remain steady and focused, even in the face of conflict or adversity, earns you the admiration of those who once doubted you. This calmness is a sign of your transformation. It is proof that you have stepped into a new season of your life, one where you are no longer ruled by external circumstances, but where you are the master of your own reactions and responses. Your ability to remain calm in challenging situations, to avoid being swept up in negativity, and to focus on your purpose is what sets you apart. It is what allows you to continue moving forward with grace, regardless of the challenges that come your way. The people around you may be puzzled by your refusal to engage in drama, but they will also begin to admire your strength. Your focus, your composure, and your unwavering commitment to your purpose will draw people to you. You are no longer defined by the drama or the opinions of others. You are defined by your inner peace, your alignment with your purpose, and your ability to rise above the noise. The shift that has taken place within you is profound, and it is only just beginning to reflect in your outer world. As you continue to focus on your growth, trust in your purpose, and remain aligned with your true self, you will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy into your life. The journey you've walked has led you to this point of transformation, and the rewards of your inner work are about to manifest in your outer reality. Chosen one, you are now walking in alignment with your true purpose. Your energy is shifting, and the world around you is responding accordingly. As you continue to grow and evolve, you will find that your path becomes clearer, your relationships become more meaningful, and your opportunities become more aligned with your purpose. You no longer need to chase after external validation or approval. You are walking in the fullness of your divine calling, and the peace you radiate is a reflection of the strength and wisdom you have gained along the way. Trust in the process, for you are exactly where you need to be. Your rise is inevitable, and the world will see the power of your transformation. Chosen one, your journey has been one of remarkable resilience, strength, and growth. Through the trials and pain, you have refused to let the darkness define your story. The wounds that once threatened to consume you have instead become the very things that shaped your strength. While many around you may have fallen into cycles of negativity, bitterness, and despair, you chose a different path. You chose peace over conflict, growth over stagnation, and purpose over resentment. In doing so, you broke the cycle that so many others are trapped in. The power of resilience is not found in avoiding pain, but in choosing how to respond to it. You chose not to let the pain and betrayal of your past control your future. You turned the hurt into a stepping stone, using it as fuel for personal transformation. Your strength lies not in the absence of difficulty, but in your ability to rise above it, to remain steadfast in your integrity, and to continue moving forward despite the challenges. As this chapter of your journey comes to a close, it's important to remember that your true strength lies in the decisions you've made along the way. The choice to remain compassionate despite the pain, the decision to master your emotions instead of reacting impulsively, and the resolve to stay true to your values. These choices have defined you. You have proven that the true power is in self-mastery, in choosing integrity even when it would have been easier to give in to darkness. Chosen one, the road ahead is bright, for you have already shown that nothing can hold you back. The resilience you've cultivated will continue to guide you as you step into your purpose, and the strength you've gained will carry you through whatever challenges may come. This is your victory, the victory of rising above the pain, breaking free from the cycle, and walking in your divine calling. Your story is just beginning, and it will inspire others to rise, just as you have. Heavenly Father, thank you for the strength you have given me to endure the hardships and betrayals that came my way. Thank you for helping me choose peace over anger, growth over bitterness, and purpose over pain. I pray that I continue to walk in your light, growing in wisdom and self-mastery. May I always stay true to my values, no matter the challenges I face. I trust that you are guiding me, and that my journey will lead to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. In Jesus' name, amen.